Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be using this radiator behind me to sling in a good couple of bottles of inhibitor into this heating system using a method that I showed you many years ago. Hold tight, and I bet you think that mental plumber bloke's back. It's just going to fall into our radiator. And obviously for lunch I had like salad. But I thought I'd return to now. So without further ado, let me show you how you can add inhibitor into your own heating system with a bloody bottle. Oh, let's go. Firstly, this heating system is on. I just want to show you that with my Bosch thermal camera. There we go. As you can see, that radiator is nice and hot. So the first thing we're going to do is turn the radiator off. So that goes all the way down to 0. And then at the other end, and all the tools that I use in these videos, you can buy on our Amazon store, but I'll leave links to that below. You can have a look at that at the end. Next thing, we are just going to turn off this valve here. This is the lock shield end. Now to turn that off, we are going righty-tighty or clockwise. There we go. So that radiator is now switched off. We want to prove it by opening up the air vent at the top of the radiator. That's this little, no, other end. So we're going to open that up. A little bit of water will come out, but we want it to stop after about 10 to 30 seconds. And then that'll prove that these valves are holding and we can move on to the next stage. So I've got my radiator key on a little carabiner. Just going to undo this. So look, we're just actually a bit of air coming out. Wow. Needed venting, but there's nothing coming out of that now. Happy that we can drain the radiator out. So I'm going to pop a little box just underneath here to catch the water, and then we're going to undo this nut here. Let me show you. Using my absolutely brilliant self-setting adjustables that you can buy in the Amazon store. They're absolutely great. I should really just be able to grab the body of the radiator, just like that. And there we go, water is now coming out. Just give that a little bit of a pull. And look, we're now getting a nice flow of water coming out of there. And really, because I'm going to be putting so much inhibitor in this heating system, I'm going to drain all the water out of this. So the idea is that we're now allowing air into the top of the radiator because we've got this air vent open. Once I'm glad that we're kind of past that, I'm actually going to take this air vent off because that's imperative for the next step of this job, actually building up our little inhibitor tubby McTubberson, actually building up our inhibitor tub beast. And yeah, so we'll be able to do that, but I think we've probably let out enough water now. I'm not a very patient person. Let's see if it's coming off. So we should have no water in here, or maybe just a little bit. Here we go. Moment of truth. Oh, look at that. No water at all. Beautiful. Whee! So now, yeah, we're getting it right down. Nice. And once that's stopped, it's pretty much empty now. Radiator's still quite warm, but it's pretty much empty. Right, cool, that's pretty much finished. That's enough for me. So now we nip that back up again so it's nice and tight. Lovely. You don't have to do this next bit, but if you can get to the other end of the radiator and take the bung off, oh, which way am I going? It's a good idea to do that because I'm going the wrong way, dear me. Because it kind of then acts like a bit of a jerry can. A jerry can, obviously, very good invention because it allowed air out of a receptacle when you're trying to fill it up with stuff. So good idea to do that. Just keep an eye on it when we're filling up with inhibitor in a second. Let's go and make our little bottle up. So all we need is some bog standard central heating inhibitor. Take the lid off that, okay? Then a standard 1/2 inch tap connector at one end to 15mm compression if you can get it at the other end. Remove this off of here, okay? Take the olive and the nut off. Get the top like so. Pop this on here like that, all right? Try and get this as central as you can. And I draw around with a little pencil, if I can. This isn't easy, this bit, I've got to say. Then I want to cut a hole out that's just smaller than the thread of this, okay? That's what we're going to do now. Opposite corners like so. Opposite corner. Opposite corner. Opposite, I say corners, dearie me. What kind of circle has corners, eh guys? Cut it nicely, beautiful. Doesn't matter if it's too tight, in a way it kind of helps. And then take this bit out. I've got 2 O-rings in the back of the van, so I'll put the smaller one just on here, like that, and we're going to hope that we get a nice sort of shoulder seal on there. Then I'm going to push this up through this cap just here. There you go, we're in. That's got quite a nice little seal on there already, actually. How about that? So if I can, I'll fit an O-ring on here, like so. And then screw down. Now I know you're going to say a little bit of inhibitor is going to be left in here. That's just life. Okie doke. Now, get our inhibitor itself, take off the foil. Let's go back to the radiator. A small isolation valve, just like this. These are very, very common. You can get them from loads of shops. I have the isolation valve on there just so I can control what's going on. Pop a little bit of Loctite on here, just so we get a sort of rudimentary seal for the time that we're doing this work. And we'll just pop that in here. Have a good look, guys. So we just pop this in here like that. Lovely. From that, I can now put in what we've made up onto this here, like so. And that just tightens up on a rubber O-ring. But we kind of just want to leave it loose for now. Or actually, you know what? I'll do it the other way around today. I tighten this up, our bottle, onto here. We might get a little dribble come out of this, okay? It's just part of life. But this is a lot easier than trying to tip it in to the top of a radiator. So now we've got that like so. We can pop this on here, like that. And now we can tip this the other way up. Now, inhibitor is going into the radiator at the moment, but what I like to do is just cut a small bit at the top so it just starts to run in nice and easily. That means we can just keep reusing this bottle to tip our next bottles of inhibitor in. Drop it right in there, but look, that's come out so quickly, all that. So there's our bottle. Let me just get another bottle of inhibitor. Just watch this all fall into the radiator. Lovely. And it's so quick. And now you can just get all your other bottles of inhibitor ready, cut open. And also this place has got a stop core on it, so the chance of there being corrosion in the system now are very, very low. I'm just going to sling it all in, nice and easy. 1, 2. Feel like the radiator, just make sure we're not too cold, too high up. Tiny bit of a leak, but to be fair, that's not too bad at all. Now I've done that, I'm gonna just make sure, I'm gonna run around a little bit of X-Pro around here, but there we go, job done. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bottles of inhibitor shoved in really, really quickly. Now what I'll do from here, remove the whole of the makeup now, so everything that's on here will come off, and that will then stay as a unit to be used in the future. Simple job now, pop the bung back on at one end, make sure that the air vent is also turned off now because we want to have control over the system. Just nick that up a quick bit. Nice bung on at the other end. Just going to nip that up. Turn the Bosch cam on. Right, so let's just turn this valve on down here. So that's pressure back in there again. Tiny bit of heat, but it's not going to go anywhere because we need to open up the lock shield at this end. But before we do that, it's a good idea we just let out all the air. There you go, that's that. Beautiful. Now we'll open up the lock shield one more time. Hello. Ah, yes, I'll move it now. Okie doke. Oh yes, I'm just moving it right now. And that radiator is heating up lovely.
Good boy.
Sorry guys, I had to get out there sharpish as you heard because the hole that I'm using, or where I was fitting that rad to add to a few other radiators and doing the inhibitor, was being used by a group called the Tuesday Club, which has been running for 70 years this year. And it is just a group of people in the village who one Tuesday every month lay on a big dinner for all the old age pensioners and stuff who live in the village, and it's so nice to listen to them all come in. They all do a raffle, and then one of them is their birthday, so they all sang happy birthday to them, and then they get down, they have a couple of glasses of wine, something to eat, and if I could be doing that when I'm their age, then that'd be great. But it takes volunteers like the people who run that to do it, so yeah, really, really cool. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you. I know it's a quick one, I've covered this sort of stuff before, but I thought you'd like to see it again, and I have since gunked up the inside of that with a little bit of X-Pro as well, so if you want to get that, it's in the links below. Have a great day guys, see you on this video here, and see you soon. Who rings a man on a block number, eh? Hello? Speaking. Vince, how you doing?